If you've done some digging around the internet for creepy things, there's a chance you've seen this picture. Watermelon Head is one of the earliest cursed images, dating all the way back to 2009, and seemed to show a woman sitting in a dimly lit room with lifeless black eyes and a watermelon attached to her head. When this image was first uploaded, it quite obviously disturbed everyone that saw it, and quickly made its way around the internet, being posted to all different kinds of websites, which then posed the question, where did this picture actually come from? Well, for about a decade, the internet was left in the dark about the whereabouts of this image. Some people were convinced that this was a real photo, and that the woman in the picture somehow managed to carve an actual watermelon and mold it onto her face, while others simply thought it was just photoshopped. And for a while, it was just theories like these, and it seemed like no one was able to find any real information about this picture. That was until a Reddit user by the name of Bored Brews made a post sharing some interesting information on the origins of this photo. The original picture seems to have been first posted on Flickr on May 6, 2009, uploaded by a woman named Julia Hegland. Now, since Julia was the original uploader and had multiple other pictures of her with the same watermelon shirt and background, people were quick to assume that this was the same person in the photo, and that somewhere on her profile there would be the original unedited version of this photo. But to a lot of people's surprise, that image was nowhere to be found. Since Julia never posted the original picture, people started to question if she was even the girl in the photo. And again, the internet was driven into another dead end. Some Reddit users have managed to find the original pictures of the watermelon head, which seemed to be from the cruise line Royal Caribbean on the ship Navigator of the Seas. And although this was a step in the right direction, it seems the original picture of the woman is still nowhere to be found. With only a few posts online talking about this image, it sadly remains a mystery on who this person is and where this picture came from. Smile Dog. Smile Dog, or smile.jpg, is a series of images of dogs smiling creepily into the camera. Like most creepypastas going around in the early days of the internet, stumbling across Smile Dog came with a consequence. Send this to 10 friends, or he'll pay you a visit. The legend of the creepypasta tells us that Smile Dog represents an evil spirit, or demon, that would torture its victims to the point of insanity, or just flat out kill them. This would only happen if the person Smile Dog was tormenting wouldn't share the images with all their friends. People claiming to have seen Smile Dog roughly all have the same description of him: a creepy dog smiling into your soul. With the images gradually gaining in popularity over the years, people were desperate to find the source of these images. And although there's barely any information regarding these photos, I do have some information about this one. A Reddit user by the name Not Hurting Anyone made a post on r/creepypasta claiming to have found the original picture used in the photo. The photo seems to show a Siberian husky making a similar face to the original picture. The features in the image are strikingly similar, looking almost identical to the Smile Dog image, with the only differences being the dog's ears being cut off and the red curtain in the background. A user in the comments of this post somehow managed to find the red curtain background, which matches pretty much identically to the Smile Dog photo. Over the years, similar photos have come across the internet, with the trend of skinwalkers. But sadly, this information is all we know. With only little information about one of the three pictures, it's hard to say whether or not more information will ever be found, making this a pretty creepy mystery. Teletubbies. A user on Reddit named The Player Card uploaded a post on the subreddit Creepy on March 9th, 2016, stating, "I don't remember the Teletubbies being this scary as a kid." If you don't know, the Teletubbies was a British children's television series that aired from 1998 to 2001. The show was famous for its lovable characters and lighthearted story, and became a quick sensation to all kids alike. With that being said, that's what makes this image so disturbing. The photo shows a young boy sitting in a hospital bed, surrounded by the Teletubbies. Now, it doesn't take much of a closer look to see how much creepier these look to the original. The main thing you might notice is the lifeless black eyes on every single one of them, as they stare directly into the camera. Now, although this is terrifying to look at, what's the reason for them being there, and why does this photo exist? Well, taking a closer look at the image, we can see the picture is actually a photo of another photo, as being seen in the top right. Another thing you might catch is the poster for a Dutch football star, Dennis Bergkamp, which leads me to believe that this post was taken somewhere in the Netherlands. And although the costumes themselves are creepy, it's hard to say whether or not this was done on purpose, or if this was an attempt to cheer up a kid with the only costumes they could find. Looking back at the Reddit post, according to what I was able to find, this is the first instance of this photo being shared. But after doing a little bit of digging, it seems the user by the name JF1984 was actually the first person to have posted this image. Even though the original post has since been removed, Jay's post was essentially the same as the player cards, with the title, "As if being sick as a kid wasn't scary enough." The only difference between these two posts is that Jay seems to be the person that took a picture of this photo. I noticed this on a wall in the children's ward of an English hospital under the heading "Celebrities Who Visited Us," is what Jay wrote in the comments. Since then, Jay has deleted the post and has been inactive on the account for almost a decade. The YouTuber Scare Theater messaged Jay to ask where he originally found the picture. Jay responded that he saw the image on a notice board in the waiting room of a children's hospital, but that sadly he didn't know any more information on the backstory of the photo. And because of the hospital's strict confidentiality, it would be almost impossible to find out any more information. Solar Plexus Clown Glider. If you've seen this image, there's a good chance you've been cursed. Solar Plexus Clown Glider was a phrase allegedly created by the government to control the national population. The name itself, SPCG, covers a broad range of paranormal activities that would infect weak and vulnerable people. The image itself first popped up around 2021, where multiple posts started to be shared asking if anyone had any information on its origin. And even though people were convinced the picture was fake, some started to question if the entity captured inside the photo was actually real. I know this isn't real, but I feel like he's in my mind, and I can't get him out. People all around started to tie this image with MKUltra, which was an experiment done by the CIA to attempt to develop mind control, which is what started the legend in the first place. And after doing some digging, the first instance of this photo showing up ties back to a book named "Why Hasn't Everything Already Disappeared?" The image appears on page 37 with a lengthy description of the photo's real meaning. Now, I'm no Shakespeare, but from the little amount of what I was able to take away from this was that the photo was digitally created in an attempt to show how any photo, digital or not, could be manipulated and altered. Now, whether or not this photo is actually real, it doesn't take away from the feeling of eeriness and creepiness that me and thousands of other people feel after looking at this photo.